Hey guys, I haven't posted a video in a couple days. I've been kind of busy. I've got some stories regarding that, but I'm actually planning on doing two videos tonight. The first one is one of my other hobbies. I'm going to title it New Pen Who Dis. Obviously, dad joke. But one of the other things I'm into is fountain pens, and I'm going to go ahead and, excuse me, there it is. I'm going to go ahead and unbox a new fountain pen that I got, and we're going to ink it up and play around with it and see what we've got. Give me just a second to get the box open, and we will go from there. Okay, so here we go. We've got the packaging off. Like I said, this is a brand new pen. Based on the pictures I saw on Amazon, it looks like it's a knockoff of a German pen. Don't ask me how to pronounce it. It's like KWACO or something. They've got a little pen called a sport pen that was actually the first fountain pen I had back before I was into fountain pens, and I just kind of threw it in my drawer, used it a couple times, and one of the kids got a hold of it and bent the nib, and at the time I didn't really know anything about fountain pens, didn't really care, so I just pitched it and went on. The thing about those pens are they are pretty nice. They're kind of small, so they're easy to carry. The one I've been lusting after for a while is all brass, but it's also a $50 pen, so I'm kind of not in a huge hurry to spend that much money on a pen. I started looking around. I saw a post on the fountain pen Reddit, and someone had a knockoff pen. I started looking at that pen, and then one of the other things I found was this pen, which was a couple dollars more expensive, but the interesting thing is it has one of the like foot things or kind of kickouts on the bottom of the nibs that are supposed to be a different writing experience, and I don't have a pen like that, so I figured, 20 bucks, it was worth it. So here we go. First off, comes with a fairly nice little metal tin. That's always pretty cool. Here is the pen. As for the writing, I'm not actually sure if that's simplified Chinese. That's what I would guess. Let's pull it out. The pen's got some heft to it. Does it? Oh yeah, it unscrews, which kind of a stubby little pen, but it's interesting. It's got some weight to it. It feels like the cap might actually be weighted, but there's that. Let's see if there's anything underneath it. I'm not sure. It doesn't really seem like the foam was glued down. Let's see. Let's do this. Okay, so it looks like this is just another foam block underneath. Yeah, that's all it is. And then a little orange card. That's kind of cool. Gives it a nice contrast. Happy Halloween, being as it is November 1st. So there's that. Interesting little pen. Interesting little case too. So we've got the case. Now let's go ahead and disassemble. So the cap screws off, which is kind of cool, and then this part screws off, and I don't know if there's going to be a converter in there, a cartridge, or what. Oh, wow. So this is an international standard converter. This is the converter that came with it. It looks like they're a little bit different there, but the part that matters, the opening in the bottom of the converter, seems the same. I brought this converter home from work. This is from another kind of random Chinese pen that I'd picked up, but I wasn't sure if it would have a converter with it or cartridges, and I also got a new bottle of ink to go with it, so I really kind of wanted to make sure I had all the parts that I would need so that I could ink this pen up and test it out. Let's go ahead and open the ink. It is a Pelikan Violet, which is a color I don't have. I don't know if you're really going to get that on camera, but there's the ink. Let's go ahead and ink up the pen. That actually gives you a better idea what it is. I really like it. Let's go ahead and see how it looks when we get it inked up. So what I'm going to do is just stick the nib down in. It looks like this is reverse threaded. At this point, I'm just screwing it down so that I can force all of the air out of the nib and the converter, and then I'll pull it back up. And if you can see right there, it's about half full. We'll go ahead and push it down again, then draw up, which, as you see this time, we're getting a full load of ink. So we've got this. First thing I'm going to do is cap this, because the last thing I want is for basically 60 milliliters of fountain pen ink to go spilling all over my desk. If you've never used a fountain pen or have no experience, this is fairly typical for the inking process. From here, we will just screw it back together, and we'll get this out of the way. Set this here temporarily. I'll get the ugly journal out, and I call it the ugly journal because it's ugly as sin, but it was actually the first thing I ever made with like leathercraft. It's reclaimed leather from a early 2000s Jeep Grand Cherokee seat. Okay, so while I was doing the video cutting and things like that, I discovered that I really didn't like the previous writing example, so I decided to reshoot another one. Just bear with me, it's a case that I kind of didn't like it and wanted to redo it, so it's going to seem kind of wonky, but here we go. First off, I did write a little bit. As you can see, it says I didn't like the previous writing example, so here goes a new one, and that's pretty much what it is. Using this pen, I do really like it. I enjoy writing with it. It's a nice pen to write with. And picking up where we left off, I do really like the pen. The pen's got some nice heft to it. It's a bit heavy. I'm probably going to end up super gluing that part because I'm not a huge fan. The pen itself is small, but kind of nicely balanced. The cap really kind of feels like there's some extra weight in this end, but when you put it together, it's still a bit short, but it has a nice feel to it. The balance isn't horrible. Like, what can I say, except I really like this pen. This may end up, it's probably not going to be my new EDC. I don't know why it says War and Peace on it also, but it's a nice pen. I'll probably keep it on my desk at work, and it'll be my go-to pen for work notes and meeting notes and things like that. All in all, I do like it. When I post the video, I'll probably put a link to the pen in the Amazon link in the description, so that if you want to check it out, you can. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.